Obviously, the big story over the weekend, the vote. The vote over the weekend on the Lubbock County Municipal, or the Lubbock Municipal Auditorium and Coliseum, passing. The story from the AJ, they have it as the headline, a landmark decision. Lubbock voters okay plan to abandon the auditorium and Coliseum. In a city of more than 250,000 people and more than 160,000 registered voters, not quite 15,000 votes were cast in the election to decide the fate of the half-century-old buildings. As of late Saturday, there were 7,757 votes cast in favor of the proposition, 7,231 cast against it, difference of 526. So very close vote between the two. Very, very close vote between the two. And there's not a set plan in place of what's going to happen. Basically this starts at this point, negotiations, I guess you could call them, between the city and Texas Tech. You're going to have the Coliseum around all of next year. After 2019, though, who knows what's going to happen? At some point, it's going to be torn down, and Texas Tech will build a athletic/dorm facility on that land. Eddie McBride, president and CEO of the chamber, said Saturday the vote to abandon the property is just the start of the process. Quote, this doesn't completely resolve the problem. Obviously, we've got to start on a path forward, McBride said. We need to roll up our sleeves and get to work on how to replace the Coliseum. The auditorium is an issue that I think will take care of itself. All in all, the people have spoken and given their votes in favor of abandoning the auditorium and Coliseum. Looking at vote breakdown on the county's election website, it's clear separation in areas of Lubbock voting for and against the proposition. The vast majority of yes votes came from southwest and central Lubbock. Precincts to overwhelmingly vote no were in the north, east, and south. Councilman Jeff Griffith, who was interviewed, said there's no date set yet for the transfer of the buildings. Along with now working with Tech, Griffith said the vote also set into motion the need to find a replacement for dirt events like the ABC Pro Rodeo that were in the Coliseum. Now, Mayor Dan Pope, who won re-election easily, as expected, gave a brief speech. And, Jody, we're not going to play the entire thing, but I want to play at least the very beginning of Dan Pope's, I guess, victory message from Saturday night. This is after the votes came in and after it became very apparent that the Coliseum and Auditorium, the proposition was going to pass. Here was Mayor Dan Pope.
Thanks for being here tonight. It's a great day in Lubbock, Texas. Great evening, Lubbock. I made a couple sets of notes today, and I had a set of notes about what would happen if the Auditorium Coliseum went down. And I promised you I was going to be a graceful loser, okay? But I'm going to gloat a little bit tonight, okay? And I'm going to gloat about our community tonight. I think we made a decision today to move forward. I think we made a decision that looks at the people that lead this community, the Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Griffith back in the back, Councilwoman Gibson who just left, Councilman-elect Randy Christian who's been here tonight, Mr. Massengale. I think they looked and said, we trust those people. Trust. I don't think we've given you any reason not to trust us. You may not like the decisions we made, but we've been right up front about it, and I believe that you can trust us.
Okay. Kill it there. Jody, is that the first time you've heard that?
Yeah, it is.
On Saturday, when I heard that, we got a text message from a listener of ours. And they had said, basically, Dan Pope said that this vote means you can trust us. And I thought, no, he didn't. No, he did not just say that. That this vote that was separated by 526 votes. He did not take from that this community overwhelmingly supports and trusts the Lubbock City Council. He did not say that. And then when he said it, and we played it on election night, and that was from a Facebook Live video. I did yell out, "Is he high?" And I don't think he was high. Insane? Maybe, or you've got to be insane if you think any of this process and how divided people were calling into this show and other talk shows here on KFYO, how divided people were giving their opinions through television, how divided people were on social media. You have to be insane to think that a vote that barely passed is now an endorsement of trust to you or the Lubbock City Council. You either have to be insane or so tone deaf and arrogant that you're just not getting it. The people who voted for this didn't vote for it. I think the vast majority of people who voted for this didn't do it because they trust in the Lubbock City Council. They voted for it because they don't trust you. They don't trust you to own buildings. They don't trust you to make decisions. Dan Pope says that we haven't done anything not to earn your trust, or something to that effect. We haven't done anything not to. Are you kidding me? You didn't even let people vote on police substations. You think we trust you? You don't trust us? The only reason this Coliseum vote was put to the people was because it was mandated by the state of Texas. They didn't put Citizens Tower to the people. They didn't put the police substations to the people. There's no trust. Either way, there's no trust. This is an issue that should have passed easily. I'm saying well over 60% should have voted for this. And if there was trust in this community with the Lubbock City Council, it would have, and you people know it. You people down to, you know that I'm speaking the truth right now. You know exactly where polling was at months ago on this. You know exactly why you didn't put substations to a vote of the people, because you know they don't trust you, and you were afraid it was going to fail. So don't give me this crap that all of a sudden the citizens of Lubbock have been unified and brought together to trust you and this council. It is 100% tone deaf by Mayor Dan Pope, and I congratulate him on winning re-election. Good for him. He was running against two people you've never heard of, and he won re-election. Now, again, good for him. He got 79% of the vote. 20% of people wanted to vote for two people they had never heard of before in their lives. And I think Dan Pope still got, I think fewer people voted in the mayoral election than they voted for Proposition A. So don't tell me that this vote that was, 52-48, don't tell me that means there's a lot of support or trust for the Lubbock City Council. It's not true. And if you believe it's true, you're tone deaf, or you're arrogant, or you're insane, or you're high. You can pick which one you want to be. because it's not based in reality. Do this show. Come on this show for 2.5 hours and take calls from people. See how much they trust this council. Oh, well, Chad, that's not very fair. The KFYO audience, very highly informed people, and they don't tend to trust those in government. You're right. How about this? Open up City Hall. Open up City Hall for a few days and only do citizen comments and see how many people come up and say, we completely trust you. See how many people who are being annexed come up and go, we trust the Lubbock City Council.